First, I would like to say thank you to all of you for coming out today. I have also want to say thank you to all of those who are responsible for me being here, being Dr. Aaron Huey, Professor of Counseling and Student Affairs, Mr. Brian Kuster, the Vice President of Student Affairs, and Dr. Lynn Holland, the Associate Vice President of Student Affairs. What I have in store hopefully will not be me talking to you, but me telling you about securing our future as student affairs leaders. I'm so fortunate to be where I am. It's not because I knew enough to plan my life some 21 years ago, knowing that I would be exactly where I am and doing exactly what I'm doing. I sort of fell into this unit we call student affairs. Some 19 years ago, I was working in a position where I did not feel appreciated, but mostly frustrated. I was working in an area that provided customer service, which was something I thought I was very good at. But the director of the area didn't agree with me. I was told I was too friendly. Can you believe that? It truly stunned me, that remark did. It was then that I knew it was time to start looking for a new job. But what I found was a career. After going to the employment page on the Human Resource website, I saw that the Department of Minority Student Support Services was looking for an office associate. I thought that it would be a great place to work. I knew that I met the qualifications, so I applied for the position, and the rest is history, as I stand before you as the coordinator of retention initiatives. I said all of that to say this. This was the beginning of my work in student affairs, my new career. Along the way, while doing what I was passionate about, cared about, and felt I was capable of doing, I met some really incredible young people. I was able to build relationships with my students. As the frontline person, I was the first point of contact that parents, students, and other colleagues made when they came to the office. I treated everyone with respect, as if they were the most important person in the world, and at that moment, they were. So, my first piece of advice would be, always treat people the way you would want to be treated at that moment. This is such a key component to student success. You know what it feels like when you realize you're getting on someone's nerves just because you ask a question. You know that you know what it's like to get the runaround. You are sent to the top of the hill to said office expecting someone to help you, only to find out that you need to go to said office at the bottom of the hill for assistance. For those of you who have walked our campus from the bottom to the top, you truly can appreciate this scenario. I get winded just thinking about it. Back to customer service. You are expected to know everything. You are not expected to know everything about the university, but at least know to call and check before you send students and or their parents on a scavenger hunt for assistance. It has been through the building of relationships that I've been able to help students find themselves. Not that they were physically lost, but they were not sure how to do this thing we call college. Student success should be our top priority. This is a collaborative effort between you, us, and the student. We should be working with the students, connecting them to the necessary resources that will lead to their success. The most important resource is trust, followed by honesty, genuine care, and consistency. I am always honest with my students, even when they don't want to hear it. I was told people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Students and parents know when you're not being genuine. Authenticity leads to consistency. Everyone who knows me knows I'm the same all the time. Students tell me they appreciate my dependability. It is critical as professionals to stop fabricating lies to make them feel better. What real purpose does that serve? We should be preparing them for the real world that they are about to enter into after graduation. There are students walking around on our campus thinking that they're the next best thing to a Happy Meal because we, as student affairs professionals, keep telling them so. We think we should tell them what they want or need to hear. As student affairs leaders, we need to convince our students that they are capable of doing things that they never thought that they could do, and be truthful in those conversations. It is vitally important that we understand the seriousness of this journey. As student affairs leaders, it is imperative that we know who our students are. All of them do not come from the same elite high schools, the same elite upscale neighborhoods, or from the same culture. As student affairs professionals, we know where a student lives determines where he or she will go to high school. And we also know that schools are not created equal. Whether a seasoned professional or new to the field, you know that all schools are not teaching the same curriculum, which means that students are coming to college on an unlevel playing field, but are expected to perform on the same level. It is critical that we have a better understanding about where our students come from culturally. Even though they are at an institution of higher learning, their focus can still be at home. I had a student who came to college because his mother was on welfare and living in public housing, and he had aged out. It meant that he had to leave the only place he knew as home, or his mother and siblings would have been put out of their home. He came to WKU so he could have a place to live. It was never a plan to be successful, but it was a means to an end. Unfortunately for him, but really fortunate for him, he met two women who saw something in him he didn't see in himself. We nurtured him, we had those tough conversations, and we set him in a direction for success. This was not an easy task, but it was a very rewarding task for all of us. He graduated with his master's degree. As student affairs professionals, this is how we make success stories. As new professionals in the field, I have something for you. Meet your students where they are and teach them the key to their success is learning. You must know that you must know that what we do in this field is just as relevant as what happens in the classroom. Understanding what we do and why we do this work is important. We teach and we give back because we want our students to do the same. It is imperative that you lead by doing things you ask others to do. Be accessible, get involved in your profession, and make connections formally and informally. According to Dr. Laura Bayless, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, you should always think broadly. Look ahead to upcoming challenges in the years to come. So, stay ahead of the game and not always trying to catch up. This is how you make your mark in the field of student affairs. I often wonder how many people I have not had the opportunity to influence because they did not have access to college. When I think about accessibility, a lot has changed over the last century. We have first-generation students, women, people of color, low income, and veterans, just to name a few. I know there will be many changes to come in higher education, and I know that access has to be a greater priority. I'm a true believer that college is not for everyone, but it should be available to those who have the desire to go. We will suffer when education is not viewed as significant. Higher education is at a critical point right now when state funding is being cut and future funds will be allocated based on recruitment, retention, and degree completion numbers. It is vitally important that everyone has the opportunity to be a productive member of society, and without some level of education, additional education beyond a high school diploma, everyone is affected. According to a recent study by Georgetown University Center on Education and the Workforce, found that by 2020, 65% of all jobs will require a bachelor's or an associate's degree or some other education beyond high school. This means we have a great deal of work to do at our institution to get our students to some level of degree completion by 2020, especially in the fields of STEM, healthcare, and community service. I'm not sure why I was chosen to offer advice to new professionals mid-level management, and senior-level professionals. But I guess after 20 years in the field, I should have a little something to propose. We must be committed to excellence and never allow our students to be mediocre. It is important that our students feel cared about, respected, and a part of our campus. So make yourself available and make them aware of their abilities. And I would like to leave you with this final thought. There are 3 types of people: those who watch things happen, those who make things happen, and those who wonder what just happened. My question is, which person will you be in securing our future as student affairs leaders? Thank you for your time and your attention.